When God gave us this word about radical, the word that he really gave us was radical, but the idea was that young Christians are holding on to their faith in a way that is, it's so versatile to them. It's something that I've watched and I'm seeing young people take and apply to every aspect of their life, their friendships, their family, their hobbies, their curiosity, and also to their doubt. There was a time where it seemed like young Christians were kind of compartmentalizing their faith. Now there's a whole generation of people who are saying, church is not contained to the building. Now that's where we go to be recharged, that's where we go to learn, to be discipled in a very real way. But faith is becoming more versatile for them too, because really they're taking it and putting it in the classroom, and they're taking it and putting it into their relationships in new and really profound ways. And I see the radical or the courageous Christian holding that as a part of their identity in a more profound way.
You are so accepting to like everybody around you. Like you just like accept any kind of personality, like everything, and you like treat others like with kindness and love. Like you're not ashamed of like yourself and who you are. Like
I can just say that you feel like my sister. I love you so much, and like I admire that you don't like push yourself out there like that. You have so much presence in it, like, and people love to be around you. So I love to be around you. I love you, and yeah.
Yeah, the kind of Christian that really influenced me, that still really inspires me, are the Christians that always take me by surprise. Like the ones who are genuinely themselves. They appreciate the approval of people, but they don't really seek for the approval of people. They genuinely care about what God thinks of them.
At least 10 people gave me weird looks for going to church camp.
Why?
Because they're weird.
Did they just think it's like pointless, or what do you
They were
think?
like, oh, church camp? Like, that's weird. Like, you're one of those crazy weird people? Like,
I don't really care
Yeah.
what people think,
Yeah.
because most of my friends don't believe in God, and so sometimes like they would wonder why I'm like this, like why I'm so like innocent, I guess.
Do you ever feel out of place or awkward?
When I was younger, I used to, but now I think I'm more used to it, or I have like accepted it more. Like that's who I am. Like that's who I'm supposed to be. Like, and I'm not going to change just for like other people because I don't feel comfortable around them.
If someone asked you, why do you believe what you believe, what would you tell them?
Because I've like had miracles in my life.
Like what?
I mean like camp, like getting to camp, like to learn about God more and everything. That's just always a miracle for me. My friend, she was recently really sick, so I just kind of prayed and everything, and she was like healed, like.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a move of God. We don't need to hide our faith in a room full of non-believers. We can say what God has done in our lives, and we can say it boldly and not have to like feel like we're a slave to the approval of really anyone. Okay. So if you look at this, this is still pretty flimsy. If you spend 5 days with God out of 365 days of the year, that is such a small percentage of your life. You cannot live in this moment. You have to build on this moment. Get it! Yes! You did it! Okay, wait. How much work did it take to get one nail in?
A lot.
Quite a bit. Okay, it's not always easy to go to church. Because you gotta wake up, and that's a problem for 90% of you. When the young Christian finds strength and solace in the power of the body of Christ and in church, I think that they are more apt to be in places that they don't fit because they don't really find their identity in those things anyway, so they're not looking for approval or validation or those kinds of identity sort of things. So they fit in church, but they kind of function outside of it. You know, it's funny that anytime something major happens socially, culturally, religiously, that it happens more often than not with a very strong core of young people, and typically what happens is there's like this there's like a stirring, and there's like these new conversations and these new ideas, and there's energy in young people, and there's like an optimism in young people, and there's a zeal in young people that is led by sort of a hope for something different than the generation before them has taught them. But now the young Christian is starting to realize that what maybe they've sought in approval or validation from the world previously, they can only find in the church. You know, people all the time say, you remember the good old days? And I think that the good old days is sort of like it's a little bit of a trap, you know, because most people nobody realizes they're living in the good old days while it's happening. They're just living life. But I know that there's going to come a time where we're going to look back at right now and say, everything was just kind of coming to fruition. God was doing something just absolutely incredible, and it was all just kind of blooming right in front of our eyes. And thank God that we pursued Him and got perspective enough to know that this is a profound moment in the church. And because of that, it became a profound moment in the world, because people started to own their faith in a way that was just unprecedented.